Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, oh man, we are diving into a book that will absolutely wreck you in the best way possible. We're talking about Restore Me by J L Seegars, and trust me, it's a story all about heartbreak and the incredible messy journey of finding love again.
Wow, I mean, just that one line tells you everything you need to know, right? It perfectly captures this fierce, protective, almost dangerous love that's at the very heart of this story. You just know you're in for an intense ride, one that's going to break things down before it builds them back up.
So yeah, at its core, this is a contemporary romance, but it's not your typical fluffy story. Nope. This one gets into the really messy, complicated, and sometimes painful parts of loving someone after you've lost everything. It's all about this magnetic, totally forbidden connection between two people who are tied together by the same tragedy.
And that's really the big question the whole book asks, isn't it? Can you really find love again in the middle of all that grief? Especially when it's with the one person you are absolutely 100% supposed to hate. It really makes you think about loyalty, about what it means to move on, and if your heart gets to choose, even when it feels totally wrong.
All right, so let's get into it. Let's meet the two people at the center of this whole emotional storm. Because really, their pain, that's what drives this entire story. And here it is, the core of the whole conflict. You've got Sloane, a widow who's just haunted by her past. And then you have Dominic, her late husband's best friend, who's been secretly in love with her for years, but hides it behind this wall of just pure animosity. For her, he's a walking, talking reminder of what she lost. For him, she's the one person in the universe who is completely off limits. He's the man she shouldn't want, and she's the woman he can't have. Or at least that's what they both think.
Okay, so this huge shift from basically hating each other to, well, not hating each other, it doesn't just happen. It's built piece by piece through these tiny, stolen moments. A sharp comment here, a vulnerable confession there. So let's break it down. We're going to walk through 5 key moments that change absolutely everything for them.
So, moment number 1. Forget longing looks across a crowded room. Their story starts with verbal daggers. Every single time they talk, it's just this sharp, witty banter that is crackling with an energy that neither of them wants to admit is there. It's basically their armor.
But here's the thing about all that sparring. It's not just hate. It's a defense mechanism, you know? It's the only kind of intimacy they can handle. When you're two people who are absolutely terrified of being vulnerable, trading insults is the only way you can get close. It's how they acknowledge that pull between them without actually having to say the words, that there's this insane chemistry they can't ignore.
Okay, moment 2. This is where we see the first real crack in that armor. Sloane is having this incredibly raw, vulnerable moment, and Dominic? He doesn't come back with some sarcastic remark. Nope. Instead, he gives her the one thing she needs more than anything else in the world, genuine understanding.
And bam! This is it. This is the moment Sloane finally sees past the guy who's been a thorn in her side. She sees a man who is capable of being so tender. Someone who actually gets her grief because, well, he's grieving too. That whole enemy mask, it just starts to crumble. So the walls are coming down, and all that tension that's been simmering under the surface for years, it finally, inevitably, boils over. And this, what Dominic says next, it's not a question. It's not a suggestion. It is a straight-up, breathtaking confession of a desire he's been bottling up for who knows how long.
And that's it. That is their point of no return. All the years of animosity, the secret glances, the stuff left unsaid, it all just gets washed away by this wave of pure, raw passion. The fight is finally over, and something completely new is just getting started.
So after that, after the passion, comes the what now moment, the realization. And Sloane figures it out. This isn't just about lust. It's not just two grieving people finding comfort. In this really quiet, internal moment, she finally puts a name to this huge, scary, beautiful feeling she has for Dominic.
And you know, this is everything. It's her complete emotional surrender. It's the moment she just accepts that her heart has gone and made a choice, whether she was ready for it or not. A choice she never in a million years saw coming, and one that is going to change her life. Forever.
And that brings us to our 5th and final moment. This whole journey doesn't end with just a kiss or a confession. It ends with a promise. Dominic's final declaration isn't just about the now, it's about the future. And it's not about erasing the past either. It's about building something new, on purpose, together.
The symbolism of this is it's so powerful, right? He's saying, I can build the frame, the structure, but you're the one who has to fill it and make it a home. And that single moment, that's the real restoration. It's two broken hearts finally coming together to build one shared, hopeful future.
So after going on this incredible, and let's be honest, pretty heart-wrenching journey with Sloane and Dominic, what's the big takeaway? What's the lesson this story leaves us with?
I think Restore Me just makes this beautiful case that you can honor a love from your past, you can cherish those memories, and at the same time you can bravely jump headfirst into a new love. One doesn't have to erase the other. They can coexist.
All right, let's get to the final verdict. And of course, I've got a couple of recommendations for you if this story sounds like your kind of thing.
Look, this book, it's just so much more than a simple romance. It's a whole experience. It drags you right down into the depths of grief with these characters, but then it masterfully shows you the way back out through this passionate, messy, but ultimately so healing love story. For the way it handles such a tough subject with so much care, for the absolutely breathtaking romance, and for character growth that feels so real and earned, we're giving Restore Me a solid 9 out of 10. Okay, so if you were totally sucked in by the emotional roller coaster of this book, you have to read It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. It has that same kind of depth. And if what you really loved was that sharp, witty, I hate you, but I also kind of love you vibe, then The Hating Game by Sally Thorne is going to be your new favorite book for sure.
So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on, which is really the question at the heart of the whole novel. This is one of those stories that it sticks with you. It'll have you thinking about how incredibly resilient the human heart is long after you've finished that last page.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you want more deep dives into stories like this one, you know what to do. Make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.